Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Shane from Hunger for Horror, and wanted to go through a few more movies with you. I got some very nice compliments on my first video with my new video camera. Hope this one looks a little less pink. Tried to set things a little better. I'm new at this, so bear with me folks. But today I have a special guest. This will be my son Wyatt, and he's going to be in here. He's going to help judge the box art, because he wanted to be involved, and I thought, well, let's get him in on the action and get him involved here.
Okay. So he talked about me on the last video, but today I am here, and so a few weeks ago we were looking at something he calls his archives, where he keeps all his movies, well, a lot of his movies anyway. So and I liked a lot of the covers, so he decided to come and he decided to tell me, hey, you want to come into my video and judge the box art? And I said, sure. So here I am, and I'm going to be judging the box art for this video.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start off. I got a little stack of them here. Again, I don't want this video to be too long, so hopefully y'all stay with me. I won't bore you. I never want to bore you. This is one of my absolute favorite movies. This is called Shock. It's a Mario Bava movie. I believe this was his last movie. I think his son stepped in and helped the finished filming this. This has got Daria Nicolodi from Deep Red and pretty much all the Dario Argento films of his peak years in the 80s. She was actually married to him for a while. And this movie is just definitely has a scene or two in it that just absolutely are unforgettable. I would have to say that this is probably in my top 20. I know at some point I'll keep saying they're in my top 20 and I'll reach more than 20, so I know y'all are going to call me on that and keep me honest, but I do absolutely adore this film. What do you think of the cover art? You like that?
Actually, before the video, I thought it was actually very cool. I thought there's like a ghost costume, but apparently to me it looks like it's some wood on her. They get splinter.
Yeah, nope.
I've actually had a few splinters before, and believe me, it hurts.
So anyway, Shock, definitely put that on your list. It's a fantastic movie. And of course, we've got, here's a classic, Magic. Anthony Hopkins and Margaret Burgess Meredith. So, you know, if you like great performances, you're not going to go wrong here. He gets kind of obsessed and kind of lives vicariously through this dummy, and he imagines the dummy makes him do terrible things. So, again, a great suspenseful film. One of my favorites from the early 80s. Definitely, if you like these actors and you haven't seen this film, I would definitely recommend this. Wyatt, what do you think? You like that cover art?
Yes, and I also wonder how they turned like red, and why is that guy's ear so big? And it looks like part of his ear got cut off. You see that, Daddy? See that?
Oh, actually, that's a sideburn, honey.
A sideburn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You ready to move on to the next video? We got to keep moving.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
We don't want to spend too much time on any one title. Got to show a few of these off. Here's one that's very hard to find anymore. I don't think you can get this anymore. It's called The Surgeon. I actually got this in a 2-pack with Skinner, which you saw in the last video. It's got Peter Boyle, Isabel Glasser, Malcolm McDowell. I love the cover art. It's actually a pretty good film. It's not maybe as good as you'd hope to be, but it is a good film. What do you think of that? You like that?
Yeah, I also like how it kind of looks like. So I thought that was kind of like the Grinch, because it's so like green related to like the Grinch color. We actually saw the new Grinch movie, a month ago?
Yeah, something like that.
It was actually very good, so do go check that out. If it's even still in theaters. But if it is, do go check it out. It's good.
Wyatt does watch movies like The Grinch. He hasn't watched any of these, just for the record.
Yes, I hate scary movies.
Vacancy 2, The First Cut. This is actually a prequel to the first film. So if you see this one first, that's fine. It's actually pretty good. I actually like this one. I don't remember much else to say about it. It's very similar to the first film. You know, the scenario being spied on in a motel room. You know, very creepy. Something, a premise that we could all relate to. We're sure that most of us wouldn't want to be spied upon while we're in our room doing things that other people aren't supposed to see. So the box art for this film, I guess it's appropriate. It's nothing fantastic, I don't think. What do you think?
So it kind of looks like a camera lens, just like the video camera right now. If the camera is on, you're dead. We're not dead right now. And the camera is on.
No, we're live.
Yep.
But we won't be live by the time they see us because they'll see a recording of us. Anyway.
Well, we are. Well, do you mean we're gonna be dead at the end of the film or something?
No.
I don't understand.
No. Alright, this movie is for extreme horror fans, people like gore. Story's kind of interesting, kind of all over the place. Performances are decent. Definitely one that's hard to forget. This Blu-ray, I believe, is now out of stock, out of print. You might still be able to get the DVD. I don't know if the new company that put this one out, Code Red, put out this version. They also had a limited edition 2-disc version, I think, as well. But anyway, this is definitely something that this has 2 discs in it. I'm sorry. So actually, this film is just amazing in its shock value, especially when it came out. It was oftentimes said that Tom Savini did the makeup effects on this. He didn't. He just had a little input and he gave some advice. But they got away with saying Tom Savini did the effects, which brought people to this movie to watch it, because Tom Savini is well known for his makeup effects from Maniac and Friday the 13th and countless others. This has definitely got definitely sets the tone. The cover art rather sets the tone very well for this film. But I think I've said enough about this one. Do you think that looks kind of scary?
So actually, So when we didn't start the video, it was on this stack. This was my favorite one I saw. It was very, very scary related. I just really like the cover. Let's just say that. I really like the cover.
But he will not be allowed to see this movie for many, many, many years. That is way out of his age range.
Oh my goodness.
Here's one called Good Against Evil. This was, I think it's in the public domain. You can find this pretty easily on lots of little multi-packs and stuff. I know it's still out there. I don't remember who put it out. This is an old Brentwood copy, which Brentwood has been out of business for a while. I think they were absorbed by Mill Creek or Echo Bridge, one of those. It's got Kim Cattrall from Mannequin and Sex and the City. I remember it not being like unforgettable, but being quite enjoyable, actually better than I thought it would be. So I do kind of like the cover art on this, but neither one of them really have anything to do with the film. Neither one of these people are in the film, I don't believe. What do you think?
What I kind of sort of don't understand is all these like swords on her. Or is that maybe like the makeup from her eye or something? See that, guys? Could be the makeup from her eye.
Let me see.
Actually, no, because there's not. It should be like dripping down or something. So I don't really understand that.
Okay, I think. Well, those are crosses. They're not swords.
Oh, really?
Because it's good against evil. This is supposed to be the good side. That's supposed to be the evil side.
Oh, okay.
So.
It is a scary movie, so I was kind of confused.
This is going to be, I don't know how well you can see this. This has got a lenticular cover. It's called Soul Keeper. I'm going to move
yes,
it around
I really like that giant mouth there. So, is that eyes up there? It really looks like some sort of mutant monster dragon or something. Do you see that?
I do.
Yeah, it sort of looks like a dragon. If you kind of move it, it's so weird. Oh gosh.
This is a movie that a lot of people don't really give a lot of favors to. It's I think it's actually pretty good. If you're looking for a comedic horror with lots of comic relief, this is a fantastic horror film with lots of comic relief. It's got Brad Dourif, he's in it briefly. Debbie Gibson fans, anyone remember the singer Debbie Gibson? You'll see her in a whole new way you've never seen her before in this film. So definitely, I would say I would recommend that one. Probably more so than most people. I enjoy it.
So I want to check out this movie.
Let's check this one out first because it kind of comes before it.
Oh, really?
This one's one you probably already know, the Blair Witch Project. It kind of started the whole documentary film craze, or documentary style filmmaking. It's definitely considered a classic scare flick. It really leaves a lot to your imagination. Definitely, if you haven't seen Blair Witch Project, where you been. Catch up.
Okay.
But it's good.
You may be wondering why I'm holding this together. It sort of gives you like the hang on. I cannot. Okay, there we go. So it sort of like shows you like it kind of gives you the idea of like how the story goes, Do you know what I'm saying right here?
I do.
Yeah.
How about this? How about the second one though? Let's talk about this one for a
I
minute.
really like this cover art. Like it's like, so what I'm assuming, that very bright glow right there is sort of like it. So what I'm assuming is that this is in a cave and that got carved.
Yeah.
And there's like a fire maybe, and they kind of included that fire to make it look more
I think
interesting.
you might be a little low. You might be out of the frame. This is Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. This movie is not very highly regarded, unfortunately. I think it's actually scary, and I'm probably in the minority that actually like this film. I actually like this film a little more than the original. The remake that they just did, or the reboot, just called Blair Witch, it's too similar to the first movie, as far as I'm concerned. It really brings nothing new or original to the table. So I would even recommend this one over the reboot. And I would, the reboot's fairly disposable. I mean, it's good for what it is, but it's basically just a total rehash of the first movie. This one takes the film in a whole new twist. It's not documentary-style filmmaking. However, it's a movie about people coming to see where the original movie was filmed. So, and then some weird things start to happen in the world of Blair Witch folklore. I would say if you've not given this a shot due to negative reviews, I think you need to watch it and judge for yourself, because I really, really enjoy this film. Always have. Saw it at the theater, thought it was great. And it was different, and I like the fact that it was different.
So,
What do we got next here, son?
we have, I like how you said son, because this is called The Good Son.
The Good Son.
Yes.
Okay.
What I'm kind of concerned about right now is that looks very similar to the kid in Home Alone.
Well, it is. It's the same actor, Macaulay Culkin.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was going to say. It looks so similar. See that, guys? If you've seen Home Alone, you must find that very familiar.
Come here. Get over here next to me and do your best Home Alone impression when he goes. Go ahead. Do it. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I actually can't do that because I have the movie in my hand, obviously.
But Elijah Wood co-stars in this fantastic film. His performance probably actually outshines Macaulay Culkin's. But both of the actors do a great job, especially considering their age. They're both terrific actors as far as I'm concerned. The story is fantastic. The ending is unforgettable. Strongly recommend The Good Son. Most of you, like I said, some of these movies, a lot of you probably already seen. I'm just going through my collection. Some of this may be new to you, and if you haven't seen these before, I'd hate for you to miss out on some of these great classic films that I'm reviewing with you today.
So, so the next movie I'm going to show, I'm probably assuming that this is one of the 2-pack things. So
It is. It's a 2-pack. It's a double feature.
Mr. Murder and Servants of Twilight. I was pretty sure that was a double pack because there's like that line there that kind of separates the two movies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've actually never seen these before, so I can't like judge how good it is, but I assume it's good.
Well, Mr. Murder, these are both based off Dean Koontz novels. Mr. Murder is supposed to be very good. I have not actually ever watched this, and I've had this for years. This is an old out-of-print Lionsgate double feature. I think you might still be able to find these films. I mainly got this for Servants of Twilight. That movie is an absolute roller coaster. I absolutely love that movie. So if you can find Servants of Twilight, and Mr. Murder is, like I said, it's a miniseries, a TV miniseries, so this thing actually runs like 5 or 6 hours. But Servants of Twilight, I think is like, how many minutes is Servants of Twilight? Well, it doesn't say. If I remember correctly, it's about an hour and a half, or maybe an hour and 45. Fantastic film.
So I guess we can't judge this because you haven't seen Mr. Murder.
Nope.
So we can judge this. I'm sorry. Maybe give us in the comments if you watched this. Maybe leave us in the comments how you thought it was.
Yeah, please give us a review of anything that if I say I haven't watched this or I don't remember this, tell us, or any of these movies, tell us your thoughts on them. Now, we're going right straight into one of my favorite film series. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. Phantasm. In my top 5 of all time. Angus Scrimm, rest in peace. Fantastic performance as the tall man. Reggie Bannister. Michael Baldwin. Fantastic movie. Can't say enough good things about it. The sequels are also entertaining. I don't think they have the charm of the original. Some people like the second one better. It does have higher production values, shot on a bigger budget, but something about this one, just I always come back to it. I'll let you get all the cover art here in a second here. Let me go ahead and run through the other 3 films in the series,
fine.
then I'll let you go through each one of those. Phantasm 2, as I mentioned, great film. The studio did not want Michael Baldwin in the lead role. They felt that somebody else was more appropriate, so the director Don Coscarelli conceded, and he kind of regretted it, but that's what it took to get the film made, and he got a good budget for it. And somebody greenlit a film that wasn't a sequel to a film that wasn't really widely known 10 years later, and it was basically about 10 years later. It was about 10 years later. Because I think it said after 10 years of silence, the ball is back. That used to be the tagline. This is the slipcover, and of course there's the same art here. This is a Shout Factory release. It's out of print now. This is an Anchor Bay out of print release, but these have been all re-released in one collection. Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. This one focuses more on Reggie and kind of his dealings with the tall man, trying to take care of him, get him, conquer him, basically. Phantasm 4 had a very limited budget, but still came out, added more things to the story. It kind of was, we thought, was the conclusion to the series. However, I'm very happy that Phantasm 5 Ravager came out. I have that on Blu-ray, so when I get around to Blu-rays, I will cover Phantasm 5 Ravager. But anyway, none of these films disappointed me. Do you want to say anything about the cover art of these particular films?
Oh, tell me about it. I do. So, let's start with the first one.
Why don't you get back here where people can see, because I'm afraid that you're out of frame for a lot of this.
Okay, so,
Okay.
Phantasm 1. When he was holding this one up, I realized something that I should really explain to you. Now, you may see this Phantasm, and you may be thinking, oh, that's just the original Phantasm. Well, this isn't any Phantasm movie. It's the special edition. Are you kidding? Do you know this is going to be posted on YouTube?
Yes, I'm going to post it. I really am. Seriously, I'm going to do that. Okay, so that's Phantasm. What do you want to say about this one? Anything?
I really like the blood thing here, and also I do like the fact that he's wearing a tie, because I do like really dressing up. I really do. I do have a nice suit, and I just do. It comes with the tie.
Okay. So, what do you want to say about this one?
Okay. Phantasm Lord of the Dead 3. I would like to say that I really like this.
Turn around so they can see what you're pointing at.
What do you mean? What's that?
That's like a little screw thing that comes out of the ball.
Yeah, screwdriver. I really like that screwdriver was coming into the head like the white orb. Looks very cool. Okay. Very cool.
What do you think about this one?
Oh, tell me about it. This looks like some mutant monster eagle that's on fire in some ancient statue or something. To me, it looks like they're on somewhere in St. George or something. And I really like that he's just peeking onto the mutant monster eagle. What kind of matches this is that he's looking very mad and evil.
He's kind of in the background, didn't he?
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, and I think that they're probably done with the Phantasm series, because I couldn't imagine them making a 6th one without Angus Scrimm. So actually he died before the film was ever released. So that was number 5 rather. Here's a collection of Stephen King based films. Graveyard Shift. If you have a fear of rats, this one will definitely get to you a bit. Silver Bullet, one of the best werewolf movies ever. Howling is my personal favorite, but Silver Bullet I think is quite good. Pet Sematary, remake of that coming out in April this year. I read the book on that one, and also on Graveyard Shift. I read all 3 of these books, come to think of it. Pet Sematary did a very good job of wrapping up that whole book in an hour and a half, and I think they did a good job. The visuals are there. It's definitely poignant. The performances are fantastic. Denise Crosby is in this, and you got Fred Gwynn, who who played Herman Munster. He plays the judge. So if you've never seen any of these, all these are good. I would say Pet Sematary is the best, then Silver Bullet, and then Graveyard Shift. But Graveyard Shift, I don't think gets as much love as it deserves. It's actually quite a good film, and it gets overlooked because it wasn't one of his more better-known stories. So I think a lot of people ignored the film when it came out years ago. But anyway, there's very little to see in the way of cover art here because it's a triple pack, so they just put a few small little frames of picture in there. What do you think?
What I like to say is that maybe they're next to an ocean and there's like a splash right there, and it really looks cool for like. And I also like that's cool. Silver Bullet. I think some rifle bullets are like that. They're actually silver, so.
Silver Bullet's supposedly the only thing that can kill a werewolf in old classic folklore.
Oh, really?
So that's why they call it Silver Bullet, because it's a werewolf movie.
Oh, okay, okay. Cool. Pet Cemetery, not much. Not much.
Not much to say about
the red-eyed cat.
The red-eyed cat's a little creepy.
If I saw that, I would literally fall on the ground and be dead.
Alright, we have got...
And you literally cry to death, because I'm very good at YouTubing.
Okay, I hope our battery doesn't run out. We got 7 more. Let's get through them here real quick. Venom, one of my favorite snake movies. Black Mamba gets sent to a person's home instead of the harmless, I think it was a corn snake or something. And the criminals end up with that one. Now they're on the hunt for their Black Mamba. Don't remember what their motive is. But needless to say, what I do remember is the Black Mamba gets loose and creates all kinds of problems. Very fun movie. Great footage of the Black Mamba. It's got Klaus Kinski. It's got Oliver Reed, Susan George. Many of the staple actors of the 70s and 80s horror films are in this, and I just absolutely love this. Is a very metallic-looking cover. This is from Blue Underground. This is still available, I'm pretty sure. Even available on Blu-ray. All you Blu-ray fans out there. What do you think? You like that snake?
Yeah, and also what I also really, really like about this is that it's kind of very, very shiny. And those things really, really look like metallic. Look like metallic.
So Venom is definitely, if you're a creature feature fan and you love snakes, reptiles...
And you love metallic things, watch this.
Yeah, the cover art is wonderful.
Yes,
if nothing else, buy it for the cover art. Okay.
Buy it!
One of the best low-budget movies of all time, Stuart Gordon, H.P. Lovecraft's ReAnimator. This is the old Elite edition, Millennium Edition. Elite has been out of business for years. Definitely one of the best movies, horror movies of the 80s. Basically about a guy who is a student, and this crazy medical student who he takes in as his roommate creates lots of havoc because he has this serum that, yes, brings the dead back to life and creates all kinds of chaos. And the performances are great, the effects are great, the movie's great, lots of humor. There's actually some scares, some good gore if you're into that, which obviously he's not allowed to watch that. But however, I think this picture pretty much says it all. It really tells you it really captures the theme of the movie very well. What do you think?
And even if he offered me to watch it, I still probably wouldn't because I hate scary movies. I actually said that earlier in the video.
But this video is for people who love scary movies.
Yes.
But you can appreciate the box art.
Not for me. Not for me.
Right.
Hence the point, not for me.
But you appreciate the box art because you like some of these covers.
Oh. What I actually just spotted is that what the heck is that? I think it's some head.
It's a head in a tray.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. But hey, look, he's wearing a tie.
Yep, and there's also a tie back here. Hidden tie. If you go into the cover art, please wear it.
Okay, well that's that one. Now, our next one is Slashers. This is kind of like a Running Man type game, low budget, the Japanese game show where these people are put in this game, forced into it, and basically the last one alive wins the prize. This movie, I think, is better than what most people say it is. Fangoria was in on the production, the original horror magazine, who actually, they don't publish magazines anymore. You have to go to Fangoria online. They don't actually have a print version anymore. And this is an old MTI home video release. I'm not sure if MTI is still around, but I'm pretty sure that somebody has this available. It may not be MTI, it may be another company, but I would recommend definitely check out Slashers, and these are 3 of the feature killers that run around trying to take out the contestants. Anything you want to say about this one?
Yes. Let's start off with some little simple facts. So, first, we're going to start off with my favorite 3 killer guys. It's either that one or that one. Like, I can't really tell, because that one's really cool too. But my best guess is it's probably that one, because it's just... You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are you game smashers? Okay.
Okay, it's Slashers. Next
Slashers.
one. Next one is Parents. This is on, actually in my first video, it's on a multi-pack from Lionsgate, Randy Quaid. Definitely is a role that you've never seen anything like this before. Basically, these parents are cannibals, and the kid that is their son slowly discovers this about their parents. And of course, he's quite alarmed by this. This has got some of the best black comedy I've ever seen in my life. It's a very strange film, definitely worth a look. And, well, you being a child, you're probably scared of parents anyway.
No, I love you guys. I'm not scared.
Well, I love you too.
I'm fine.
Anyway, that's my boy. And this is Parents. Next up, Snakes on a Plane, another creature feature. If you like Venom, why not make it a double feature? Watch Snakes on a Plane with it. Crazy stuff. Samuel L. Jackson, lots of humor. Some of the CGI isn't great, but it all looks cool. It's all fun to watch. Lots of action. Definitely one of the more interesting films, I would say, of the last 10, 15 years. I can't even remember when this came out. Time flies, you know, I forget how old. This movie might have came out in 2000. I don't know. It might almost be 20 years now. But anyway, absolutely loved this movie. I knew I would love it just because I liked the title, and Samuel L. Jackson agreed to shoot the movie because it had that title, and they thought about changing the title. He said, no, you changed the title. I'm not going to star in your movie. But it pretty much shows 2 snakes wrapped around a plane, which I think is a very great marketable cover art. What do you think? You like that?
Yes, I do. Also, what I am probably assuming this is that, so, right off the bat, some passengers are on a plane, and some snakes come in while they're taking off, and they don't know it, and then...
Actually, they break out of a crate, and they were transporting these snakes, and then they go nuts and go slithering through the plane.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. If you get in that position, just watch this, and it'll get more interesting.
Okay.
At least I'll think that's what'll happen.
I'm not sure they can see you where you're standing, son. That's okay.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. I'm new at this, and he's even newer. So, okay, D&D fans. This movie isn't as good as I hoped it'd be, but it's not bad. It's a PG-13. It's not too crazy. About this kid, you know, who plays Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, and, you know, he gets picked on, and he comes back to get revenge against all the people that mess with him. So, again, I think I like the cover art. I like the purple and the shading and the imagery in the background and the gravestones and the guy on the horse back here and the holding up a Game Master guide, just like, you know, from a Dungeons and Dragons game. What do you think? You like that?
Yeah.
I like the color.
I like the whole night purple thing because I've seen a lot of like night stuff and a lot of them are like purple. So this really fits the whole night thing. So if you like nights, I would assume that this has a lot of nights in it and it's pretty brutal. So if you're a fan of nights, please watch that.
And
sounds good.
We got one more. We're down to our last one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie that I think never really got the attention it deserved. It's never really had a proper release. Stars Klaus Kinski, a great sci-fi horror film, kind of an alien ripoff called Creature. Like I said, this never really got a great release with a great picture and sound quality. But Creature is a lot of fun, definitely worth watching. I know it's actually available on a 3-pack on a Blu-ray with a couple other films. I don't know how good that film looks. I think it's pretty standard. I don't think it's ever been like really digitally remastered and really restored to where it looks great. But this is watchable. And this is an old Diamond Entertainment release. This isn't available anymore. This is a budget label. They sold movies for like $5 to $10 when they were in business. I'm pretty sure they're not in business anymore because I haven't seen any of their releases anywhere in many years. But anyway, Creature is a great Alien ripoff movie. Definitely worth checking out. Alien Contamination, which I mentioned in the last one. Of course, the Alien series you're familiar with. I like the first two, and I like the fourth one. Don't like the third one at all. But I might review those